Get ready to witness the future of transportation. From a propeller that is 105% more efficient to a pump jet that will forever change submarines. And we'll also tell you about a donut that reduces fuel costs by 20%. This is a torus. That's the scientific term for a donut. And this propeller looks like one, but instead of calling it the donut propeller, which doesn't sound so appealing, the creators of this revolutionary new propeller are calling it the toroidal propeller. And the reason they're becoming more and more popular is because they have been doubling the propeller efficiency of the boats they're installed on. On top of that, they are noticeably quieter when used, so let's talk some more about them. The differences are fairly obvious if you compare an ordinary propeller to a toroidal propeller. What's not so obvious is the benefit of using these types of propellers. The standard propeller creates more cavitation in the water when rotating. Cavitation refers to the bubbles the propeller makes underwater when the blades are spinning. The toroidal propeller creates fewer bubbles. The toroidal propeller creates fewer tip vortices compared to a regular propeller. On top of that, the toroidal propeller pulls in more water as it spins. This means greater thrust and faster speeds. Currently, these propellers are being tested on ships as well as drones. Some research teams want to create extremely quiet drones, relying on toroidal propellers to do this. Their design is different because they have a wider pitch, and the holes in the blades are larger and easily noticeable. When it comes to marine propulsion, the opposite is true. When running at 4,000 RPM on small boats, the propeller is 105% more efficient than the regular propeller, and they reach maximum efficiency sooner than a standard propeller. For most small boats, this is very good news as they spend a lot of time cruising at the mid-range, so it translates to 20% less fuel consumption, and this is a game-changing number. Companies are looking to manufacture toroidal propellers for large container ships. If they could reduce fuel consumption by 20 or more % by introducing a new propeller type, global trade would change drastically. Suddenly, transporting goods will become cheaper, faster, and quieter. But there's a problem. Manufacturing these propellers is very expensive. Currently, they're 3D printed, which means they can only be produced on a small scale. The cost of an average boat propeller is around $500. The toroidal propeller that Sharrow makes is $5,000. That's a price difference of 10x. Hopefully, the price of these propellers will come down in the future as their popularity grows. Also known as Wasamo, this new mobility system was inspired by old ships that relied on sails and wind to navigate the seas. Michelin is the company behind this revolutionary new mobility system, which aims to reduce the CO2 emissions from marine vessels at sea. Michelin Research and Development, in collaboration with another 2 inventors from Switzerland, have created these inflatable wing sails. At the push of a button, these 1,076 square foot sails will expand the sails upward. The telescopic mast will lift the inflated sails up in the air, and they can later use the wind to improve propulsion systems. The project aims to reduce fuel consumption and, by default, CO2 emissions. These sails and an integrated air compressor can be installed on any merchant ship or pleasure craft. They created inflatable sails instead of ordinary ones because they want ships to still pass under bridges and enter a harbor without changing the vessel's height. Liebherr is building something impressive. In order to reduce the carbon footprint of the maritime industry, the German-Swiss equipment manufacturer is building electric propulsion systems. But what's so special about that? After all, everyone is trying to build electric motors for ships. But this is where the company differs from other companies. Instead of making one engine for one type of ship, they've created a system of electric motors, generators, frequency converters, and energy storage units that ship owners can pick and choose. In other words, the ship owner decides whether they want 1, 2, or 3 more engines for their ship, and then Liebherr consults to create a unique propulsion system. Their equipment is durable, efficient, and very robust, even in extreme ambient conditions. For example, the Lycor synchronous motors are permanent magnet motors with a power range of between 30 and 2,000 kilowatts and are liquid-cooled. They have high efficiency and torque, which makes them reliable even in the harshest conditions. They will pair these motors with the Laduro marine converters with power ranges between 110 and 4,000 kilowatts, and even include the Laduro energy storage with an energy content of between 690 and 4,140 kilojoules. All of this aims to offer bespoke solutions for electric engine propulsion in the industry. MJP, or Marine Jet Power, says this water jet will be ushering in a new era of water propulsion performance. The engines rely on an optimized mixed flow pump, which is why these water jet motors can reach a speed of over 50 knots. The engine is made from duplex stainless steel and an aluminum body. This makes the engine stronger and lighter at the same time. MJP claims that the engine is also more efficient and corrosion resistant. The reason this propulsion system is so efficient is the pump. It offers optimized intake but at lower speeds. This allows the boat to reach optimum performance at any speed range without impacting the vessel's top speed. The steering is hydrodynamic, which improves the steering of the vessel. Generally speaking, these engines are best used in situations where every second counts. The Swedish Sea Rescue Society uses their 50-foot fast self-righting rescue craft in most rescue missions at sea. This boat is equipped with the MJP 350X. For ships between 66 and 112 feet, they have three models: the 400X, the 450X, and the 500X. When talking about submarines, the propellers on the submarines are being replaced by pump jets. The main advantage of a modern pump jet propulsion system is noise reduction. Because submarines need to remain silent, a difficult task to achieve on propeller submarines even with diffusers, the modern submarines rely on these giant water jet propulsion systems. Because of this, many of the Trafalgar-class submarines from the Royal Navy and the Seawolf-class submarines operated by the U.S. Navy rely on pump jet propulsion. They can also be found on the Virginia-class submarines. The design is superior because it incorporates something called an intake, which drives water inside the propeller, and a nozzle, which helps direct the flow of water. Currently, there are three types of pump jets used on submarines: the ducted propellers, the centrifugal pumps, and the mixed flow pumps. And in the future, we should expect to have rim-driven pump jets. However, it might take some time to develop and operate this system. Speaking of water jets, the Norwegian company Kongsberg is trying to create a revolutionary new water jet aimed at smaller boats and marine vessels up to 82 feet in length. They're calling it the A5 series water jet. Currently, there are three sizes of the A5 water jet. They vary in weight and power output, but this is not where the engines shine. The main reason they're being called next generation is because of their design. Everything on the A5 water jet is made from aluminum, except for the impeller, the steering reversing rods, and the shaft. These are made from stainless steel. Their cavitation margin has been improved as well, which translates to a more efficient engine, better acceleration, and improved steering. Compared to previous engines, this one achieves the same results but is 20% smaller than the previous models, so they could use that space for other things when designing a vessel with the A5 series water jet. The jet engine consumes less fuel than ordinary engines, so over the lifetime of the engine, users will be paying less than they would with a conventional engine, along with a quick delivery time and easy installation of the engine. Bye for now.